Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into one man's incredibly relatable 6-month journey. We're going to explore the exhaustion of the daily grind, the power of mindfulness, and the profound beauty that's literally hiding right in plain sight within our ordinary family moments. Let's map out the highs, the lows, and the very real tools used to navigate the messy reality of modern life. Okay, let's kick things off with a question we have all faced at some point. How exactly do you find peace when you are running on empty? I mean, balancing a grueling work schedule, raising a family, and somehow trying to protect your own mental health. It often feels like a totally impossible math equation, right? So, Section 1, the fog of the grind. Just listen to this haiku. Air foggy and cool. Clock tick tick tock slowly. Tired, bloated body. Man, that just perfectly captures the sluggish, heavy reality of the night shift, doesn't it? When the rest of the world is sound asleep, time just completely drags. You're surrounded by the hum of artificial lights, the sharp smell of solvents, and your body feels bloated and entirely out of sync. It's this weird state where you aren't exactly sad, but your mind is just dulled. It's like someone took the remote control and turned the brightness way down on your life. And you know that exhaustion inevitably spills over into real life. It leads to those dreaded mornings where you wake up to a very specific, terrifying silence and you realize with a jolt that you've slept 2 hours past your alarm. We've all been there. You scramble out of bed. But when you start your day playing frantic catch-up, you immediately sacrifice the very routines that actually keep you grounded. The breathwork gets skipped, the meditation is totally abandoned, and that heavy brain fog just settles right in for the rest of the day. 43. To really quantify the weight of this heavy season, I want you to imagine enduring 43 consecutive days of persistent rain. That was the actual reality in the UK during this period, which, hey, even for the UK, is pretty grim. And that relentless gray weather pattern perfectly mirrored the dull fog inside his mind. It's the kind of environment where the color just totally drains from both the skyline and your daily routine. Moving into Section 2, Anchors in the Storm. Let's talk about coping with anxiety. Now check out the transition in this next haiku. 43 days rain. Color drains from the skyline. Breath steadies again. See what happened there? It moves from the external gloom of the rain to a really powerful internal realization. That last line shows the profound understanding that even during a sudden anxiety attack, complete with sharp chest pains, your nervous system can eventually be settled. The weather outside changes, and so does the body. So, what's the actual toolkit here? When generalized anxiety disorder hits unprompted, you need a structured response ready to go. First, it's about acknowledging that sharp, convincing chest pain without panicked searching for a cause. Just see it for what it is. Next, engaging the 4-7-8 breathing method, breathing in for 4, holding for 7, exhaling for 8, to regulate the nervous system. And finally, grounding the mind using your 5 senses. And this brings us to a really practical working definition of mindfulness for the everyday grind. It's simply noticing where you are, the foggy air, the slow clocks, and letting it be. It's about turning simple moments into mindful resets. You know, feeling the rhythm of a 4-kilometer walk with Cooper the dog on a crisp spring morning, or taking a brief moment at a traffic roundabout to simply watch a bank of yellow daffodils swaying in the breeze. These aren't grand, expensive escapes. They are quiet, absolutely necessary pauses. Let's look at Section 3, unplugging from the noise and setting digital boundaries. Picture the daily battle we all face, maybe at the school gates. Groups of parents, heads bowed down, staring into the black mirrors of their phones, totally disconnected from one another. Just doom scrolling, curated, filtered feeds while entirely missing the messy, beautiful, imperfect real world happening right in front of them. It's a trap so many of us fall into, and it honestly just deepens that mental fog we were talking about earlier. So, to combat this overwhelming digital noise, a strict boundary had to be set. 80 minutes. That became the absolute daily limit for screen time across TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Notifications silenced. It's a simple, quantifiable metric. Stop the infinite scroll, force yourself to look up, and actually reclaim your presence in the physical world. A real game changer. Section 4. Navigating endings and facing life's losses. Because, of course, this journey wasn't just about internal struggles. It was tested by real-world heartbreak. Here is a beautiful, poignant tribute to a lost family friend, Maureen. Her funeral took place on a dull, wet morning that perfectly matched the heavy mood. But because he was truly present, he noticed that a funeral can hold both sorrow and joy at the same time. Amidst the tears and her favorite lilies and daffodils, there was also the genuine warmth of fond laughter and old stories being shared. Life also brought a different kind of ending during this time. The bittersweet conclusion of his son Max's 3-season era at his grassroots football club. Playing a year up had finally become too physically challenging as the older boys grew faster and stronger. Watching that final training session in the rain, it was a quiet, natural ending. Sad to leave the familiar, sure, but absolutely necessary for new growth.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, the chaos of family, especially weekend grassroots football.
A Sunday often starts out so idyllically, right? Birds singing outside, warm light pouring through the blinds. But cut to a few hours later and you are standing ankle deep in freezing mud, acting as a reluctant linesman, quietly shivering while your son's team suffers a 2-1 defeat. The peaceful start and the freezing, deflating finish exist on the exact same chaotic day of family life. And this brings up a really profound realization. Why do we do it? Why endure the grueling night shifts? Why stand in the freezing rain to run the line at a youth football game? Despite missing sleep and downtime, the underlying motivation is a deep, unwavering sense of duty. It's not about grand gestures. It's about quietly showing up to carry your share of the weight, simply because the people you love matter more than your own comfort. Finally, Section 6, finding the golden light and experiencing joy in the grind.
Picture a really tense football match under off-white clouds. The game is tied at 2-2 at halftime. The air is heavy. But then, 10 minutes into the second half, the game suddenly breaks wide open, delivering a moment the family had literally been anticipating for over 2 entire seasons.
The breakthrough. Max picks up the ball outside the box and strikes it cleanly. 3-2. It's his first goal after years of doing the unseen, unglamorous work in defense. The sheer elation of witnessing him celebrate with his teammates is a brilliant testament not just to Max's perseverance, but to a father's mindful presence on the sidelines. He was actually there, mentally there, to witness, feel, and absorb that sudden magic. And incredibly, the joy didn't stop there. That very same weekend, his daughter Grace achieved a spectacular sweep at her dance competition, taking home placements across the board. First in acro, second in lyrical and street dance, third in song and dance. It piled layers of overwhelming parental pride onto an already incredible, unforgettable day. This right here is what we call the golden light. By setting those digital boundaries, by utilizing breathwork to calm the anxiety, the fog ultimately lifts. You aren't distracted by the noise in your head or the glowing screen in your hand. You are entirely present. And because you've endured the slow hours and the long night shifts, these bright, golden family milestones feel infinitely sweeter. To wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought. The grind isn't going anywhere, but neither is the beauty. So ask yourself, how will you put down the phone, take a deep breath, and capture the magic in your own ordinary moments today?